Yeah.
Well, we're going to have another check-in with the hype train. The Chiefs currently 0-2 down. Bangkok Titans looking awesome. And it's done. It's off the rails. We can get it back on potentially, but the Chiefs, they're going to have to rally back 3 straight.
Look, based off these 2 games, they've lost in team fighting. They've lost in early game. There doesn't feel like there is a direct answer from the Chiefs. They're going to have to pull out something new, bring out all the stops here for this hype train, or it is going to crash.
It is. It's off the rails now. Got to be careful, but credit to Bangkok Titans where it's due. They've been playing amazingly. 2 very different games, 2 very convincing wins for the side as well.
Yeah, definitely. Feels like they went home last night. They spoke to their coaches, and they're back reinvigorated, and they've almost got the Chiefs number.
Certainly are. They've got championship point now on the line, so let's throw it back to the caster desk for game number 3.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time, and my goodness, the hype train. It's off the rails. We don't know where. Honestly, it was already off the rails. It was on the road. It was in the ocean. So, look, we're fine. We're used to it. It's going to be okay. 26 minutes wasn't what the game was, so it couldn't have been that bad.
And I actually kind of want to almost debate Rusty a little bit in terms of convincing victory back-to-back from the Bangkok Titans. Yes, they're convincing in their team fighting, but I feel like that game was actually thrown by the Chiefs rather than earned by the Bangkok Titans. They came back in the end with fantastic team fighting, but it was the consistent overreach of the Chiefs that really led to that demise.
100%. The Chiefs need to be a little bit more patient. Like, Raider, in that team fight, I cannot stress enough, like, mid lane had already been crushed, like broken open. Raider, all he had to do was stay alive, because even if he stayed alive at minimum, that's a 5 versus 3. They walk into the base, they take the second team fight seconds afterwards and win the game. Instead, he just jumped into people and like completely reversed how the whole trend of the fight was going. So, you know, every now and again, you have to take a deep breath, take a step back and understand where you're at in the game, because 40-second death time is unforgiving, and that's exactly what happened to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and Raider was punished for his movements over and over again at the same time, so he probably could have pivoted at that point and thought, look, okay, if I'm jumping on top of people, I'm going to die for it. And when you've got so much latent AoE, like there's burning stuff running around Mundo, you know that that's there. There's also a big old flail hanging out around that big boar, so just don't jump into the middle of the fight. You got massive range at the end of the game.
Well, Sejuani was dead, and Mundo was, once again, not doing very many damage. The problem is he just put himself in the range of
just
the
saying
Sivir.
In general.
No, so that was a one team fight, and Sivir like just was able to unload on Raider, when realistically, as long as the Olaf is alive, that should never be an option, because you should just be able to follow your tank into the fight, be able to put out max DPS from that range. And Raider had the augmentation there. He had the Lulu with the help picks, giving him all the extra damage. Just needed to wait for the window.
I call it a front-to-back composition. What I mean is you say line of scrimmage. So you need to set up the line of scrimmage. Your tank lines are there. And just run through. Tristana outranges Sivir. So as long as you just don't go melee range, you're going to end up winning that team fight there, especially when you're Lulu. For a moment there, Swiffer was like 9-2 and 9.
Yeah.
So
he was absolutely massive, and you know, the more fed he gets, the more damage that Tristana does, and that's why it was honestly, even though Swiffer has all these kills, it's Raider's team fight to win or lost, and unfortunately he lost it for them.
Yeah, and look, I'm just really upset because you're using more football references, and I just feel like I'm left out, so it's really upsetting. But look, I'll learn. I got to learn about football so I can understand League of Legends, and analytical points aren't necessarily.
I got
football.
You got to set up your first row and your second row.
Okay, cool.
Pretend like, so these are your foot soldiers,
yep.
aka Olaf, and these are your archers, aka Tristana.
Yeah, okay, good. So, there's 2 different lines.
Yeah.
And we can say scrimmage because it's a fun word. Apparently, everyone is off the rails. Thank you very much. Our lovely producer, Benji, just letting us know that, in fact, everything has gone wrong. But I just want to talk about 007X, because this is the guy for me who's really been the changing factor for these games as opposed to the 2 that had already gone down during the group stage, because he's picked up 3 kills in the early game in both times, and he's been able to utilize that in order to get them ahead.
I also think it's the adaptation about how 007 is playing around the map. So we've consistently seen from the Bangkok Titans look for this. Every single time, they're going to shove their lanes forward, and it's to open up and create space, hold the Chiefs down in their lane, open up for 007 to slip in and start invading. So typically, he bounces between mid and top lane. This time around, he actually invaded the bottom side because that's where his lanes were strong since we had the initiated lane swap. So just, again, the continued adaptation from 007, how heads-up he's been on the map, what he's been doing when he gets the kills available to him. I believe he went Sightstone both times. So he transitions his lead into early vision for his team that open up picks for I always want to say J4. G4 down the line.
Hopefully he plays Jarvan, then you can be correct on both
The
scores.
one person I want to shout out is Lloyd. He was going against a 3-1 AD carry. Raider got the 3 kills. 007X got the other 3 killed. Lloyd won lane. Like, I have absolutely no idea how. He was up 100 CS. Like, that is inexcusable as far as, like, there was a point in the lane where Radier had BF sword, pickaxe, dagger versus BF sword, and Lloyd was bullying him around the lane.
Well, the beauty about it was that after the initial 3 kills went down, or the initial snowball went for Radier, is that Lloyd actually swapped out of the lane. Remember, we saw Sivir go into the top lane, and then there was that consistent, 10-minute mark where Radier was constantly around G4 for some reason, and the Tristana and the Diana were matching up, and during this time window, that's when Lloyd started to skyrocket ahead because he was just free farming lanes and jungle creeps.
Well, it was a little bit unfortunate there. We are going to have champion select very, very soon. We'll see what the adaptations are going to be, and you can see it's already all the way through, and it looks like a mirror of the last champ select, but with names on the other side. Sivir is going to be first picked. Let's go through the bans just quickly. Rek'Sai, Yasuo, Maokai are going to be taken away by the Chiefs, and Kalista, Braum, and Shen are going to be the answer there for the Bangkok Titans. Take it away.
Chiefs need to take Diana.
I'm actually shocked that Yasuo was banned instead of Diana.
Yeah, Chiefs need to take Diana right now. They need to run the double teleport because Bangkok Titans have proven that is the answer to the macro play around the map, being able to have twice the resources available to get the job done.
Well, standard Bangkok Titans. First 2 picks here on the red side is going to be the Gragas and the Thresh. We'll see whether they heed your call, Spawn. And the Elise is back up as well.
Just blind pick it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the strengths about Teleport Diana right now, is that you can blind pick Diana mid.
Yeah.
Swift has got 2 plays of it during the regular season, so definitely does have it in his champion pool. We'll see whether he's able to take it.
There's also the fact that he has to blind pick his mid lane generally anyway, assuming that G4 isn't going to pick it in the next round. So, I mean, if you're going to do it, you may as well do it now. But we'll see. 18 seconds to go. Spooks looks like a ghost.
Braum Diana. I would just grab it.
Well, Braum's actually banned, so Elise is going to be the one there, as Annie is going to be locked in here from eGym. And they love the Annie Sivir lane. There's a lot of burst damage there.
All of a sudden, mid-range AD carry. G4 doesn't take it now. Swiffer doesn't take it next.
Oh my goodness. Okay, no, he's just cycling. That was frightening for a second there, as the TF was an option.
It's going to be absolutely terrifying if he decides to commit on that Zed. Again, G4 is a famous Zed player. And he denies Diana if he connects with Lulu.
Does he?
I believe
Didn't seem to work last time around.
It worked fabulously.
It worked really well.
It's just hard when your AD carry jumps forward.
It's like,
well, 20 seconds to go. Shyvana going to be locked in here for Warlock, by the looks of things, assumingly. That could go anywhere, let's be honest.
No,
could just
that
be
could
G4
definitely go into
mid-lane.
the top lane.
No, it could go into mid lane. G4 could do it, I believe. That man has done all sorts of crazy things.
so do they go the Twist of Fate? I guess that's the biggest question right now. eGym will be able to help out early in the lane with Annie if they go for a lane swap. Annie is equally as good as Thresh, if not better.
Yep,
Wow.
they did.
That's what they go with.
Okay.
Well, Twisted Fate can answer the teleport with both the Destiny and the teleport. And it was how they managed to take a victory once against the Bangkok Titans, I believe.
Swiffer had some very flashy plays where he ganked 2 lanes at once. He
Yep.
Destinied to the top lane, got a kill, and then he immediately teleported to the bottom lane, picked up another kill.
He also backdoored the game, so it wasn't exact. Like, backdoors are always nice to watch, but I always think they're not the most convincing victories.
We didn't even get to watch it. We just looked over, glanced in, and then it was the last hit on the Nexus.
Meanwhile, in the base,
Exactly.
And this has to be the Diana pickup.
he's got teleport already locked in.
Yep.
It's a fantastic matchup into Twisted Fate, just because the thing about TF is he takes realistically 2 abilities into the lane.
Oh, the classic counter pick.
Rip. So he takes 2 abilities into the lane. What I'm talking about, he's going to take his pick a card and he's going to take his wild card in there. Or is it wild card when he tosses it out?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. His other one is going to be an augment to his auto attack, and it's not like in the middle of a 1v1 duel, TF's like, let me press ultimate and I can do massive amounts of damage.
Yeah. So it looked like Swift were a little bit hesitant to trade with eGym there. In the end, he does hit the button.
Says no, I want Annie. Oh, goodness.
Doesn't fare any better in the matchup, by the way. So we're going to have the classic counter pick here. You mentioned it, Atlas.
Yeah.
It is going to be the Fizz into the Twist of Fate. And the danger of this is that Fizz, if he ever gets control out of the lane, is able to shove up TF cannot follow into Fog of War to try and use the Destiny because Fizz can just land that Chum the Waters, nail him, take him off the map. So, once again, very heavy macro here. Needs to be executed well.
Yeah, and I think this looks like it's largely off the back of the Chiefs managing to get these picks the same way it was in game number 1. The fact that the Elise, the Cocoon needs to land, they need to be able to get that forward vision. Because if the vision is there, then there's no worry about Fog of War. They don't need to be too frightened about that situation. But as soon as the map gets dark, it becomes a very scary place for the Chiefs.
I mean, if I was G4, I would just push the wave into TF, and then I would just walk and stand to the side brush. And just either force him to use the Destiny early, or if he attempts to make a roam, effectively you're just holding down Twisted Fate in the lane. And then by pushing forward again, you're creating space for 007 to make plays and impact the map.
One thing I will say is that this is a great lane for Fizz if things go in his favor, as we do have another pause, guys. However, Twisted Fate can surprisingly get a lot of control over the lane if he goes stack deck second, because you don't want to shove the lane into Fizz because he has such a good bounce of the wave when he goes flask.
Yep.
So you go stack deck second and you just put as many auto attacks. It's the Fizz Orianna lane, but with an actual stun there, and you just try and put 2 potions worth of auto attacks in him in the first 2 levels, and you can try and shove him around just a tiny little bit.
Burn through his flask.
We can do it.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Could be difficult, especially considering the fact that, you know, he does have that nimble fighter passive, able to get rid of a bit of the damage from those auto attacks. No one remembers that passive. It's just, he has a Phantom Dancer and can take a little bit less damage. I like it. Always have. Okay, you give me these patronizing looks.
No,
so
I'm
let's
not giving
move
you a
forward.
patronizing. I was actually listening to that because I knew he ignored unit collision.
Yeah, it's like
Kinda
he's got a
swims
little
through them.
mini Ninja Tabi.
Or Doran Shield, maybe.
Yeah, either or. I think it's pretty much the same. But Swiper is going to
2
take
points in the defensive tree.
Yeah.
What else has that?
Oh, maybe he's going to take all of those items and then,
Oh,
all of the
just
auto
immune
attacks
to
not going
it.
to be able to
Just
do
so
anything.
we
Old
can
school top
counteract
laners.
Yeah, something like that.
the level 2 all-in from TF
Yeah.
on auto attack.
Yeah, so he's
Exactly
going to
right.
need about 3,000 gold to
Gold,
do it.
level
We'll see
one.
whether
Okay.
he can do it.
Good. Watch out for that.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting stuff. But Olaf
you
into
off
the
the rails?
Shyvana. Let's talk about this. Olaf into Shyvana this time around. And I didn't actually see Warlock switch over to a Smite
He
or an
didn't.
Ignite or anything like that. So still going Teleport Flash.
Yeah, so you have to because this is something that we talk about a lot, but Olaf's chain CC in lane means that if you don't take Flash to be able to break one of the axes, it's just so much follow-up damage. And honestly, every time I see Olaf and Elise or Olaf Gragas, I'm just like, your job as a jungler is to get level 4 as quickly as possible and then sit on the top side of the map and give your Olaf an advantage because he is a monster when he's ahead, but is one of those snowbally top laners. So you need to give Swiper, if you're going to put him on a carry champion, you need to give him the tools to carry.
Well, he also has a Destiny now as well, and we all understand how Swiffer loves to head towards the top side of the map.
Swiper's favorite mid laner is TF. Swiffer doesn't really like playing it anymore.
No, especially not into Fizz, which he has had to deal with in the past as well in the Oceanic Pro League, but we'll see how it goes in the hands of G4, because this is an assassin in a brilliant matchup for him, and I'm really scared for how the Chiefs are going to deal with this Fizz.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough. We are onto the rift, ladies and gentlemen. The Chiefs taking on Bangkok Titans, looking to try and find the will to do the 3-0 comeback.
But on the other side, the Bangkok Titans looking for game, set, match for their trip into Worlds. And as the C representatives, first attending the International Wildcard on a technicality, and second visit to the International Wildcard, earning their place by beating out the Vietnamese powerhouses.
Yeah, on their own merit this time around. As the Bangkok Titans looking to have another defensive start. No invades or anything like that.
Did he just drop the beat?
Yeah. Prom Queen Annie, man. She's partying. That's what she's going to do.
Skrillex, that's what all the kids are listening to these days.
Oh, apparently.
What's that song that we play in between our...
Dodo Sin?
Dodo Sin, yeah.
That's what it is. That's the beat.
You're damn right it is. That's no Skrillex, though. That is the best. We could actually layer some of that over the top of this. We could have people like raising their koalas once more, but at the moment the Chiefs need to find themselves an advantage, and we'll see how they're going to go about doing it.
Looks like it's going to be with a lane swap as Radier and EGEM are rotating towards the top side of the map. So it didn't work out the last game. Going to go back to their macro loins and see if their map movements will prevail.
Oh, macro loins.
Macro loins.
That sounds tasty.
Oh, tasty was not going to be the adjective I was going to use.
I was going to say
Definitely is
hot.
an interesting one. Yeah, hot, tasty. I guess similar things. Well, Bangkok Titans hanging out as a group of 4 here in the jungle as Moss and Lloyd going to get a smite and head towards the bottom lane, but they're not going to find anyone there. A similar thing is going to happen towards the top side, but without a smite.
And I wonder if they'll make the adaptation, give it to Moss. No, they don't. They share it.
Oh, yeah, that would be cute.
So typically what happens in a lane swap is the things that are going to be immediately affected is going to be your jungle presence and how you have control over the Dragon Pit. So naturally the Chiefs are giving up their control of the Dragon Pit because they have the numbers advantage on the top side of the map. The other thing though is that it isolates the mid lane. And in this matchup, the Fizz versus the Twisted Fate, this can be really scary if Swiffer doesn't play this perfectly.
And you see both of the junglers having a look to see if they're starting the camp.
007X having to deal with a little Annie here as Moss makes his way in. Urchin Strike down onto Swiffer.
And he has. He's gone stack deck second. So Swiffer understands that he needs to put some cards into G4, but right now not really working out in his favor.
Oh, Ejim almost able to take down Warlock, but now may have overextended here as 007X.
His team's in backup.
He's
got looking for it.
They have complete control of the top side of the map. They have the numbers advantage there, so the Bangkok Titans have to leave.
And Warlock used his flash. So now, as you pointed out, Spawn, it's going to be very difficult for him to go into lane against Nola, even though they're in a lane swap situation. But still, I just want to got excited.
No, it certainly is, and they've actually teleported to the top lane. This is suicide.
I don't know what he's doing.
No, it's the direst treatment as 007X makes his way up here. Spooks very, very low. Has to be careful. Doesn't have the repel just yet, but he is safe, able to make his way out. Teleport's coming in from Swiffer in the mid lane as he's got the gold card. There it is. First blood goes to the Twisted Fate. He needed that. Fizz is on his way up. The Chiefs have to be so careful.
No, they can still just continue to push them out.
Urchin Strike's there. There's a gold card going to G4. He's now too low to go back in.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, Chiefs have complete control of the map, and they have an advantage on the TF, the one member that shouldn't be able to get ahead.
And that was back-to-back blunders from the Bangkok Titans, thinking that they could contest for the red buff when they weren't strong on that side of the map, and then continuing to try to get on top of the tower.
And now Swiper is in a lane on his own against Lloyd, knowing that everybody else was on the top side of the map, able to pick up this wave of CS.
Yeah, the one thing you will mention is that as far as 1v1 AD carries go, Graves probably the best.
Yeah, true.
Because like the closer you get to him, the more he just puts pellets, I think shotguns shoot. What are it, shells?
Yeah, pellets. Pellets.
Shells.
More than one.
Depends
if
if it's
problem.
a scatter. I have no idea. I'm
How
out of my
about just
depth.
bullets?
Yeah, bullets.
I think we'll go with bullets for now. I think it's
Party
skin
pooper.
dependent.
Merca.
Yeah, Frostgrin, come on, Judith. That sort of thing.
Let's
you know
not go
about.
with that
No,
one.
let's not. Let's just not do that. Okay, well, we're not allowed to have guns, so we just don't understand what they're about. Swiper, going to smack things with his axes. I think he may have missed that cannon creep, but thank goodness we didn't see.
I actually think you got it. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, beautiful. See, that's the faith, the raw, unadulterated faith coming out.
But look at the immediate shift in power dynamic between these mid laners. The fact that Swiffer now has an advantage, getting the push on this Fizz and really punishing the range versus melee matchup.
I told you, it's a horrible matchup unless, like, certain things play out. And generally that is fall behind 10 CS as Fizz, get level 6, get a shop in and win the lane.
Yeah.
But right now that didn't happen, so a lot more safety.
That said, Moss is trying to change that up.
Everyone is. 007X also on that side of the lane. Going to find Ejim.
007X is now level 3 though, as gold card has been held here. Moss is going to get the flash out. The Flay's back there as well, as Swiffer is in so much trouble. Ejim, he's going to come and get collected as well. Dark Passage is there for some reason. Gets a nice double stun as Moss. He might fall down. No, it's not going to be. The turret changed its mind. Moss is going to survive.
But all of a sudden, mid lane, right back where it started. Because a very greedy walk up out of the Chiefs mid lane.
Whoa, and Swiffer chooses to itemize into a Sheen first.
Not Abyssal, yeah.
That
I'm
is...
gonna argue about that. Interesting.
Risque. How about that?
Most certainly.
Oh, he's got the minions.
Wanders casually away from
Level
body
6.
slam.
Goodbye, Swiper.
Yeah, he's dead. Lloyd able to take down that kill with the collateral damage, and Bangkok Titans answer back with 2 swift kills. That being said, gold lead still in the hands of the Chiefs for the moment.
I cannot believe he went Sheen first into a Fizz lane.
Probably just wants to shove as quickly as possible and get the heck out of there, but might not be an option anymore.
That said, what the Chiefs can hang their hat on is they still have pushing potential and pushing control over the top wave. So some freestanding gold as Moss now with the top lane.
Doesn't find it. There's the stun, though, out of
Nice.
Chiefs. Nice spell shield.
That's much better play out of Radius. Staying up nice and aggressive. That will give them the turret. And this is what the lane was relegated to, which is why cooldown reduction boots, some mana regen.
That's the thing. He can't afford to aggressively trade with his Sheen right now just because G4 got the kill back to him. So like you said, you would think that you'd see Lucidity boots, some sort of mana regen, either some sort of MR, so he could just sit in the lane, continually use his gold card, and at least farm up safely. Look at how far back. So he's not even on the same screen. We can't even get them in the same image.
Well, it does make a bit of sense. There are 3 members of the Bangkok Titans hanging out towards the upper side of that lane.
And all of a sudden, Spooks also has to be careful here because they want to invade on the blue buff. We'll be spawning very soon.
They need to try and get some kind of vision down. Spooks.
Ah, really nice smite. I like this against 007X. In fact, I would smite that camp every time.
Spooks hanging out over the top. There's the Chum the Waters from G4. Spooks just going to get annihilated. He saw them there, but couldn't get out in time.
3 members of the Chiefs in the bottom lane. See if they can get anything happening down there. Spooks also, Swiffer, sorry, also cheating.
Oh, the Destiny coming in. He's already under the turret. There's the gold card. Collateral damage. They ain't going to help you. As Radius, is able to net that kill. Second one of the game for the Chiefs.
And they also burned the teleport cooldown out of Warlock in the top lane. That said, he does have the push going down, and I believe he's either already taken that tower. No, he's just farming behind it.
So the Chiefs actually going to be able to get 2 turrets. Warlock should be able to pressure that one down, although teleport is available at a Swiper. He is choosing to foot it, though.
Yep, legging it up there. Ejim.
There is a Fizz there, Ejim.
Oh, the Cromp!
Fizz still there, though. He's not going anywhere.
I don't think he has
Radier as well.
Yeah.
He's hanging around. That's a really, really fast Annie. That's a mobility boost rush, so he's at least able to book himself out of there.
He's got the boots with the fur laced up, ready to go.
Oh,
So
apple bottom.
now do they put the Sivir in the mid lane and see if they can just dodge the Fizz matchup altogether?
Move Swiffer to the bottom side.
Jungle? I don't know, somewhere.
No, I agree. I think you should move TF into the bottom side. He's obviously has his Destiny. You're playing around your Dragon cooldown. You also have your teleport available on the top side or not. But move Sivir in there to start sieging up towers. Get that freestanding gold to try to get yourself back.
Wow, look at the attention. This looks like Pawn playing it. They go,
yeah,
teleport
is short though. Teleport's coming in. Spooks able to flash over towards.
Wow, G4, you're psycho.
Yeah, there's the massive AoE as Ejim. He's super low. G4, he's trying to get his way in there. He's so low. That's another auto attack right here. Able to lock down the kill. Swiper even grabs on. Cards in from Swiffer. Takes down the Dragon Lady.
That was suicidal. I don't know how else to explain what G4 just did. Blindly face checked a brush with his troll pole. Like, normally you walk in and then try and get the heck out if there's people in there. Instead, he just puts his beak in there, and the Chiefs get 3 kills.
And the confidence. Watch Radier during this team fight. So, here we go. Starts up. Spooks is just now trying to buy time for this teleport to come in. He flashes back to safety. The troll pole into the bush. Hello, that's Annie. But Radier flashes over the wall here. High fives 3 members of the Bangkok Titans and starts chasing down 3 kills.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
I don't need this flash.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched that again, and I am just as perplexed as to what G4 was hoping to achieve without ultimate the second time I watched it.
Oh, it was enthusiastic.
It was. Oh, if anything, blindly optimistic would be the way I would phrase it. Kind of like the jump out of Radier.
Yeah.
I think I can. You cannot.
So before this tournament was the tournament of walls. I feel like this is the tournament of, or the series of hops.
Yeah, of hops.
Yeah, let's get in there.
No.
No, it's going forward. That's what it is. It's the tournament of going forward. Let's not try and disengage. Let's just jump onto people.
Keep it on the rails.
Yep.
And it is going to be double offensive items out of our top laners. Something that I'm awfully happy about.
Yeah, Warlock. Can you take us through why you go for... Well, I guess, without Smite, what do you do on Shyvana in the top lane?
Are you asking about why Shyvana's itemizing into Blade of the Ruined King?
Yeah.
I mean, your split push pressure, again, the fact that you're playing against a Twisted Fate, I would itemize for a dueling weapon there because you're going to be looking for a split push threat out of Shyvana.
Oh.
Likewise, Shyvana and her Dragon form is going to, yeah, looking at this mid lane setup again.
That looks like, honestly, I've said it twice now, it looks like they're playing against Pawn.
Swiffer can't be in the same screen as G4
But
because
once
there's
again,
20
they can
people
dive
there.
Void.
Lloyd trying to get some auto attacks here.
Good
Flashes
flash.
all the way back to his inhibitor turret. Still takes half of his health, but Spooks is here. They've got him away from the creeps.
Basic point about Shyvana, though, is she scales off of resistances, so she's going to get naturally tanky through her Dragon form through leveling up versus health. So, happy for it, not awful. She's going to go resistances after.
One thing I do want to point out that was happening whilst all that shenanigans around the map is that
Well down.
Swiper actually got the flash out of Warlock and was able to force him back to base. So maybe the top laner of the Chiefs getting a little bit wow.
Oh, the explosion onto Spooks only takes half of his health. That
nice.
Tibbers was god tier as in goes Swiffer right into the middle of the battle. 007X trying to get him out of there. G-Force making his way around, but Swiper, he's bringing up the rear. Warlock now very, very low. Fish hanging out in the trees as another stun comes in. Swiffer well in amongst this fight, takes a turret shot, flashes out of the way. He'll be fine. Radius hunting for fishes and crits his face off.
E-Gym coming up huge on this anti-pick. Back-to-back team fights, back-to-back multiple stumps, and the Chiefs are banging down on this bottom tier tower.
Yeah, Moss not going to find the play here as well.
Wow, Moss actually gets chunked.
500 health on that Thresh right now. Swiper doesn't have very much mana as Lloyd makes his way in. Descent's not going to find Radier as E-Gym, he's very low. 007X looking to find his way in. That's not a barrel that's going to hit anyone as Swiper looking to get himself in position to body block.
And the top wave is pushing back. Random thing to bring up, but there's just so much farm right now available for the Chiefs. They're pushing back the bottom wave. Top lane is pushing back as well because of the positioning. And they've got the farm on the right places. The thing that we talk about when we talk about gold distribution and why kills are sometimes better if you're even on gold is because it's on the people you want. Think about the Chiefs this game. They've got the turrets and the kills on the people they want. 4-1 and 2, TF. 3-0-5. Sivir, all of a sudden the huge carry threats are available and Swiper hasn't been denied farm, and farm above all else is what top laners really do enjoy. So Chiefs, a little bit more better poised for success this time around. But Atlas, I've seen Bangkok Titans team fight and I'm still really worried.
Yeah, I'm still really worried too, Spawn. It's okay.
I'm just watching two men die on the desk slowly as the series goes on.
One thing I definitely want to put a shout out to is the fact that Swiffer built the Sheen first. Everything was like a bit of a worry for this guy who was going to have a difficult time in lane. And he had like 4 people hanging around the mid lane, did not die that whole time. And the Chiefs just took the rest of the map around him. Fantastic play out of this mid laner to know that he just couldn't step away from that turret at all, ever.
And I'm glad that you clarified your statement of the back half of that. Fantastic play out of Swiffer. His itemization, not so much. Not ever going to support that Sheen build.
Well, he eventually probably wanted it.
Eventually, yeah, fantastic. But his Sheen wasn't doing him much good when he was playing 2 screens away from Fizz.
Helps his last hit.
Man, thank goodness I can Sheen crit these Raptors.
Hey, look.
Teleport once again.
Yeah, Destiny comes in. They are possibly able to take down the turret, but they're not gonna. They're gonna get the kill onto Lloyd. Swiper grabs an extra 300 Gs. And, okay, Ejin flashes over the wall.
Oh.
Nice flash from G4 to get on top of him with a playful trickster. The Annie falls, but the turret does as well.
But once again, this is the difference between the two teams. Chiefs, they get a kill and an objective. G4 burns his flash for support. I'm going to say that wasn't even worthwhile in the end. Sure, he gets a little bit more gold, but if he gets caught out of position from this TF in the next couple of minutes, he would really like to have his flash available.
No, completely agree, but now Spook's setting up for a pick.
Yeah, looking for 007X. Moss going to flay back Spooks. The box is there as well. In comes the teleport. Chiefs over the top as Radiant just recharges his mana with that box. Warlock gets exploded. Swiper is so big in these fights. G4 just says, nope, I'm out of here. Double kill for the Viking, and he is going nuts.
And something really cute there was it was actually 2 teleports on the 1 ward, and I don't think they knew. I think they thought that was just going to be the Olaf, and then all of a sudden Twist of Fate also at the back end of the fight.
Ridiculous stuff. Chiefs able to then transition that one into the outer turret in the mid lane. Not entirely sure where the Dragons have gone this game, but one of them went to the Chiefs. Don't remember when, because there's been so much fighting.
Well, welcome to the series, Chiefs. It's glad that you finally decided to show up. They have complete control of the map now, as well as this Dragon Pit in the next 26 seconds.
It's 2-2. Calm your horses. We beat them twice during the group stage.
I like how you're saying we now. This is the caster, guys. It's fine. It's fine. Very impartial.
So the thing that is really humorous to me, because I feel like we've seen this scenario multiple times, where Spooks gets caught and he just repels and he's like, guys, please come save me, while he's up in the air. He drops down, the rest of the Chiefs are there, and they just mow through the Bangkok Titans at this point.
Yeah, completely agree. I still think that double teleport is so cute.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will point out is that I really like watching the Bangkok Titans play League of Legends still. Even when they're behind, they just continue to try and, wow.
Yep, Moss going to flash away.
Yeah, continue to try and fight.
That is so beautiful. On the screen, proving your point. Oh, it's all happening. Lloyd able to take a blue buff for himself there as G4. He's trying to get out of this one. Spooks nails him with the cocoon. Tibbers comes down. Happy birthday. Here's a teddy bear, and you're dead, G4.
Something, something flash.
something.
Boy, I wish he had flash right now. It's funny, too, because he was locked up by Egypt, so it's like, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, dear. Well, the Chiefs going to get their second dragon.
But Warlock hits back with a turret in the top lane, so first structure does fall for the Bangkok Titans. He's starting to become a split-pushing threat, although maybe not as accelerated as the 4-1-5 all that.
Oh, my goodness.
Swiffer just threw his hands up in the air. Don't know if you caught that on the camera. Like he just doesn't care. Thank you, producer.
I think it's don't care at that point. I don't know. Oh, dear. Well, Lichbane almost completed now. Does have the home guards as well as those Lucidity boots.
Would you say he was raising his koala?
I think that may have been what he was doing, Spawn. Then if his arms were raised, he definitely did care. You got to take care of your koalas if you're going to be raising them, guys. They're an endangered species. Yep.
Don't forget to raise your kiwis.
Yep. Kiwis as well. Definitely need.
We hit 2.
Support.
What's New Caledonia?
New Caledonia? Not entirely sure what their native animal is there, Spawn.
So at this
Caught
point in
me
the
off
game, since Dragon's been taken down, the next most important objective for the Chiefs is going to be the mid-tier tower and the top-tier tower. Primarily mid-tier because it's going to, again, grant you the most passive vision and map control. So what you need to do is you need to pick up all of your vision and your wards from that Dragon Pit, start moving it over into the Bangkok Titans' red side jungle, which is why you see Ejim, you know, slowly kind of peeking his head in there, doesn't want to face check into a Gragas or a Fizz.
Is the fastest little girl I've ever seen.
But he's doing it very cautiously. He's not just like walking up to these bushes like troll pole into it. He's like, you know.
Not going full G4 on the brushes.
Like a G6.
Oh my goodness. It had to find its way in there at some point. I'm really glad it was you, Frosty, and thank you for that.
But once again, Twisted Fate ult available. They've got someone isolated on the top side of the map. This is how the Chiefs really like to use their Twisted Fate. Make sure it's isolated 1v1, and I feel like they want another bottom lane gank. That's why they haven't really moved their vision, and Swiper's pushing up so aggressively, because at any moment, Swiffer can join him. And if they send more people to answer the Olaf, all of a sudden, Baron very much on the table.
Yeah, and you can actually see this in Swiffer's play. He's posturing to that bottom side of the lane, so he is checking in with Swiper.
G4 relegated to taking down some Raptors here as he meets the creep wave at his inner turret. Radier,
Warlock
not
is
scared
so
of Warlock at all.
starved. You know, he's got farm, don't get me wrong. Like, you're like, 111 CS, how is he starved? He must have last hit perfectly, because he's level 10.
He has 111 CS at 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a cocoon onto Moss, who gets G4 into this one. Still looking for more as Swiper, he's going to make his way down, answering the teleport from Warlock with the Destiny. That is going to take the inhibitor turret. Chiefs looking to try and put their stamp on this game very early on.
And without the Diana available, and it was open for them to pick, they decided to look for the counter pick in the Fizz, but without that teleport, they're just getting ripped around the map.
They could have taken teleport.
I was going to say, I think that is actually the teleport as opposed to the champion selection.
And I agree, like it's what that champion shores up for them. You said it last game, the fact that Diana kind of is easy mode for macro rotations just because you have the double teleport there, and that's the most common champion with tandem ability that we see that on, but they had the option, they didn't take it, and now they're getting burnt.
Oh. Well, 9,000 gold is the lead here for the Chiefs at the moment as G4 just going to clear out that top side. Little scrying orb ward is going to be taken out there by G4, who says, get rid of that one, don't even need a sweeper, no worries at all. But at this point, Warlock is only going to get tankier. We'll see whether the Bangkok Titans can get themselves to a point where they can fight effectively.
Yeah, I feel like this game is really a demonstration on how Chiefs should have approached the series and what it still means for the Bangkok Titans to recognize the fact that they need the second answer to the macro play. They didn't respect the Twisted Fate for whatever reason. They banned at game 1, did not ban at game 3. And all the Chiefs are proving right now is that their one strategy still works. They're not showing us anything new at this point of the game.
The scary thing, though, is that, I mean, it's okay for the Bangkok Titans to
100%.
let the TF through. Like, they can afford to continue to make mistakes. But now that the Chiefs, if they win this game, because, A, we still have a lot of play left here.
Yep.
If they win this game, they now have demonstrated the blueprint. Okay, the Twisted Fate, pulling you around the map, macro-oriented play.
Oh, Spooks might be caught out here as he gets eaten by the fish. Repels down, able to get over the other side of the box. Destiny comes in. G4 gets caught out, takes the lantern, trying to get himself to safety. Troll Pole still there as Warlock hanging around the side. 007X so far forward. That gold card went so long. Wild cards, just the tip, will take down the fish.
Again, Spooks is caught out, but not really. He just repels up, and by the time he drops down, there's 20 people there.
It looked like he targeted the box as well.
And it's so funny because like you're watching a Fizz do it and Fizz is like, that's my trick.
Well, Talisman down. Lloyd's going to get caught. There's a flash tip as Lloyd is dead. So much damage now down for the Bangkok Titans. There's 10 seconds left on G4. Can the Chiefs get more? Yes, they can. Radier, here's the minion wave I prepared earlier, and they'll take down the inner turret in the mid lane. All 6 of them now gone. Tibbers tanking the turret like a king. Moss is going to get caught. Exploded by the Chiefs. Warlock, not a tank right now. And the inhibitor is going to be broken. Chum the Waters is down. Swiper says, yeah, I'll take that. And the exhaust is there, and 007X, now it's his turn. Taking it in turns, starting off this fight, and the Chiefs well and truly in control. The surrender comes in from the Bangkok Titans.
Raise your koalas, boys, because we've got ourselves a series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
No,
Please.
Good. Calm down.
Thank
calm
goodness
down.
that camera didn't
I
get back
I
onto
have
us
a feeling.
immediately.
I have a feeling that the OC hype train is most definitely, you know, he was off
It's
the
in
rails.
trouble.
I think it's still in trouble.
Are we still in the ocean?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, if you take a look at back to how that game evolved, it was who got the farm and who got the kills on the Chiefs. Even though they were knocking down turrets, this time they were able to get it on 2 members and pressure a portion of the map. It's so important for Chiefs to control at least half of the map.
I completely agree, but the point that I was making before that, you know, like 45-second fight that ended the game started in that jungle is that they've now created that blueprint, the Twisted Fate, and that is so easy to take care of ban, and I doubt we'll see Swiffer get his hands on that champion again. So now, what's the adaptation going forward from here without that teleport Destiny available?
But the thing is, it's just, Destiny is sure a part of the kit, but he can play any teleport mid laner. Take the Diana, run the exact same pick. Diana teleporting to a turret means you have to back off just as much as Twisted Fate Destinying in. And the way that they do it, by using Swiper as kind of that guy that shoves up obnoxiously far on a tanky bruiser that can put out the damage, just means that there's not really much of a response. And that's why I would have loved to see Diana, because she is the response to that gameplay.
Yeah, is there an option to then pick, just take teleports, just make that sort of the meta of the mid lane here for both of them?
Yeah, that's what's
Doesn't
happened
even
all.
matter.
That's what's happened to all tournament long.
I don't think there was a teleport on the Lulu, is what I was saying. Just say, no, don't take the ignite. Let's just go teleport Lulu in the mid lane.
So
I think that Doinby did it in the LPL.
Doesn't work on Lulu because she needs to be a lane bully to actually have any usefulness as a mid laner. Otherwise, you just run her as the top and run something else as a mid laner. The reason that you can do it on things like Diana and Fizz and Twisted Fate is because they have genuine kill threat or CC without the needing of an aggressive summoner spell.
And the other nice thing about Lulu is that she's a counteraction, or she counteracts the assassins, but likewise with her whimsy and her mobility, she's able to kind of compensate for the fact that, yes, you don't get the immediate teleport, but you still get the same idea of you can quickly rotate around the map.
Yeah, it's a very good point. But we are going to throw it out to Pastry Time and Rusty to take us through the Chiefs' first win in this series.
And the first win indeed there for the Chiefs, pulling it out when it counts here, winning finally a game, and it's game number 3. The Bangkok Titans still 2 match points to go, Rusty, but the Chiefs having a very clean game.
That's exactly right. The Bangkok Titans, they still looked okay. It just didn't feel as refined as their previous 2 games. But the Chiefs, they're the ones who stepped it up in that. And they took it to the Bangkok Titans this time. They didn't relent.
They really didn't. And a very crisp, clean team comp, as you can see. You can look down the Bangkok Titans side. You see a lot of the stuff we've seen from them already. Aggressive choices in the bottom lane. Assassin for G4. Gragas in the jungle. But look at this Chiefs comp. We've seen this from them in the group stage. And this man right here on Twisted Fate, Did exactly what he loves to do.
Yeah, so in the first game of the tournament 2 days ago, Bangkok Titans took on the Chiefs. That was their first ban. They removed Twisted Fate from the map. They're aware it's a big deal, and Assassins are very strong in laning phase. The Fizz, Diana, Zed from G4, they're all very strong during that laning phase. But if Swiffer can impact anywhere else, and that's exactly what he did, then the game starts to snowball out of control. Not only was the Twisted Fate there, the biggest thing that I really want to bring up is this anomaly here, the Sivir. Raiders picked that up. He's taken it away from Lloyd. He insta-locked Graves. He was confident. He wanted that, but they didn't give it to him. They swapped lanes around. They rotated. They played their macro strategy style really effectively. And the Sivir plays a big part in that because you can just press your ultimate and everyone gets there quicker.
Yep, and what a better person to enable than Ejim right on the end there on a trademark pick for him, Annie. We've seen, honestly, quite a few bans. He hasn't gone to it yet at all in the tournament, I believe, but pulling it out in a crucial game, and he made wonderful things happen with one of his favorite champions.
Oh, exactly right. It's his most played during the regular split. So all the Thresh focus, the Alistar, the Braum bans that he is receiving, he's always got this one just sitting in the pocket waiting to go. Brought that out in this game, the most important game for them, and actually goes massive. The Tibbers connected on so many targets, even during laning phase, pressing the W and stunning multiple targets every single time. He was really clutch in that.
Yeah, and we saw that as far as the multiple stuns go, the clean map movement. But let's have a replay now and dig a little bit deeper into how the Chiefs were able to get this game going.
So this is one fight that seems to have consistently dumbfounded Spawn. He had no idea what Bangkok Titans were doing. But we'll roll this one out. Siffer, he hits the gold card as the fish doesn't connect. That's already down, and Spooks is caught out of position, but the hook misses, and the teleport has arrived. And now they're just playing the numbers game with no Fizz ultimate available. Ejim hits a great stun at the same time as Swiffer, so they lock down a lot of important members. And it's really difficult to kill a Sivir. It's really difficult to kill an Elise at all because he's just a really slippery champion. And the Chiefs, they played that fine, but the Bangkok Titans, they shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have dove into that area.
Didn't have G4 for the damage ulti or to use to try and get Twisted Fate out. And he talked about Sivir being able to rotate quickly using that ultimate. Lloyd was coming up, trying to quick draw through the back of Dragon. Got there in time to see, I think, his Thresh die at that point in the fight, and Chiefs collapsed wonderfully.
Yeah, exactly right. And that was one of two fights that happened earlier on. There was one earlier that started to snowball the Twisted Fate, but that particular fight snowballed the entirety of the Chiefs, and they started to steamroll the rest of the map from that one pick. And honestly, I feel like the difference between this game and the last game, team comp-wise, wasn't all that different. It's the way that the Chiefs played the game. So you saw them in that last game was almost team fight heavy. They were bringing the cannon involved. Everyone was just grouping up as 3 or 4 members. In that, it was 2. 2 members were starting fights, and then double teleport would come in. Suddenly it's 4, but it's in their favor.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to have a replay to demonstrate a bit of that now as well. Again, lots of mid-game, good, strong movement from the Chiefs. Break it down, Rusty.
Yeah, so we'll roll this one out and keep in mind the Tibbers at all stages. Spooks, yet again, just likes getting caught, but Ejim's there, perfectly timed with that Tibbers, stuns them all up. Swiffer makes his way in here. He gets knocked under the turret, hooked around by the Thresh a fair bit, and Warlock is putting down enough damage, but Raider hasn't been touched. Keep that in mind because he is just sitting there hitting people. The playful Trickster doesn't exactly make it over the Gromp wall, so he does go down for his troubles as he's looking for Swiffer. But Swiffer didn't die. That is super important for this team. And Bangkok Titans, the execution just didn't feel like it was there in this particular game.
Yeah, and again, G4, no ulti, no summoners, couldn't find a fish, couldn't get around because the Chiefs collapsing from 3 different sides effectively. And again, we've seen this from Swiffer time and time again. Ejim on the Annie, Twisted Fate there as well. Plenty of setup, and they can just be everywhere. We've seen it when they've beaten Bangkok Titans in the group stage. They play the map, not the team.
Exactly right. And what they did was play the map really effectively in this game. The team is the added bonus, whereas you look at the difference between these two. The Bangkok Titans, they play the team. The map is the added bonus. So kill champions, work towards the Baron. Whereas the Chiefs, in this particular game, the perfect example, they would play the map, force the Bangkok Titans to come to them, and the champions just came to them for free.
They did. And our next replay is a great example of the type of collapse and map movement. I could not contain myself when I saw this. I was so surprised. Rusty, take us through it.
So, Spooks, let's just say this was all a part of their master plan. He just gets caught every single time. He takes a lot of focus, though, by getting caught. So roll this one through, Spooks. Let's all act surprised for a second that he's about to get caught by Moss and 007X. Uses the repel. Here comes a teleport, but it's not 1.
It's 2.
It's 2 members at the exact same time, and either their synergy is just perfect or it was a mistake that it actually was on the second. 007X is caught. Moss has already escaped over the double golem camp. He hooked his way out. He threw out the dark passage for someone to take it to safety. He said, come on, guys. My tower's just here. No one took it. They just didn't want to.
Nobody wanted the free ride out. And again, same story. Strong collapse. And again, good play from Medium and Swiffer. Nice teleports from both. And I like the comp there from the Chiefs because everything else supports that sort of big, aggressive skirmish and collapse. Elise and Olaf, great for when things are getting really hectic.
Yeah, so it feels like this particular game was like an adaptation of games 1 and 2 put together. So they've got the pick comp, they've got the team fighting styles. They meshed into one style of team comp that actually suits them, and they just put it together.
Yep, they did. And we have one more replay now to demonstrate just that's quite a long one, Rusty. You can see again the Chiefs. We've got a massive goal lead at this point. Bangkok Titans still back against their own base. Take us through it.
Yeah, so just start this one up. Ejim started that talisman. He's looking to go. Flashes immediately, and they catch Lloyd out. This is already after another pick happened earlier onto G4. The Chiefs, they look like they're in a very commanding position here. They work towards that middle turret, and they're just moving from strength to strength. At this point in the game, the gold lead was already so accelerated that the Chiefs are just super far ahead. And one by one, the Bangkok Titans, they work their way in, and they start to fall down. The Chiefs, they did not ever look like slowing down from this point. The snowball had well and truly begun, and try as Bangkok Titans might, they couldn't prevent that from happening.
Yep, they get ace. They pretty quickly after that throw in the towel, like you can see. I mean, I actually like this surrender a lot from the Bangkok Titans side just because the game's out of control. Your game plan isn't working. You're getting collapsed on. Just reset. You've got 2 more games to play at least. Hopefully you win the 4th game and ice the series 3-1. But just don't play that game anymore because it was not getting any better for you.
Don't give them the satisfaction of last hitting that Nexus. Surrender there. Keep it early and reassess your situation. You don't give yourself more time by any means, but you just save yourself with what was going to be a losing game regardless of what was happening.
Yeah, it was. And we have another check-in now with the hype train. The Chiefs pick up their first win. So where are we at now? Apparently we're back on the rails. Gonna say it's probably a little shaky. Maybe need some WD-40 there, but you know, it's getting going. It's started to get back on track.
Look, our computer does what it wants. It's
True.
assessed that we're on the rails, so we can't argue with this one. It seems to me like things are looking okay for the Chiefs, but as you said, you know, they've only won 1 game. It's a best of 5. And still, the Bangkok Titans are 1 game away themselves from going to Worlds.
Yep, they really are. And you can't forget how well this team has been playing. I thought, honestly, after the group stages, clutching their victory to get to this point in the final, I thought we were done seeing how good Bangkok Titans were. I was very wrong, and I'm very happy to say that given the final.
And again, a lot of credit has to go to the coaching staff actually showing them what to do coming into today, working around all of these changes, and they came out guns blazing, but the Chiefs have fired back.
Yep, both teams going to have to really look here. The hype train is back on the rails, but can it start picking up some speed? We're going to throw it back to the Custard S for game number 4 to find out.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. And I have a feeling